Hey all, welcome to Share Trek. This is Raj here. Friends, would you consider it a matter of science fiction that we may have found a way to control aging and probably reverse aging? This means that if successful, humans may never die of old age. And more importantly, the women audiences out here may probably think, you know what, I can have better skin and I can have better complexion and all that stuff. So it's really exciting. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it? I think it's possible, and this question will not just be a scientific question, but also an ethical and socio-economical question. If people did not age, the number of deaths due to old age will be zero. As a result, the Earth may not be able to sustain the population. So let's explore the new anti-aging technology paradigm and attendant issue because there's a new startup that's working exactly on this, and there are some scientific underpinnings to it. So it's not a snake oil, in my opinion. So let's get started. Welcome back, my friends. I'll start by describing a fascinating thing called telomere. Telomeres are fascinating structures found at the ends of chromosomes in eukaryotic cells, including those in humans. They play a crucial role in cell division, aging, and the prevention of genomic instability. Let me elucidate further on the basics of telomeres. If you look at the structures, telomeres are repetitive DNA sequences located at the end of linear chromosomes, as you can see in this picture here. In humans, the typical telomere sequence is TTAGGG, repeated thousands of times. Telomeres serve several important functions. The first one is protection. They protect the end of the chromosome from deterioration and fusion with the neighboring chromosomes, which would lead to genetic instability. They also have a role to play in cell division because telomeres act as a kind of biological clock or a countdown system for a cell. Each time a cell divides, its telomeres become slightly shorter. This shortening serves as a way to limit the number of times a cell can divide. Once telomeres become critically short, cells can no longer divide and become senescent and undergo apoptosis, which is basically programmed cell destruction. And preventing DNA damage is the other function of telomeres because telomeres also help prevent DNA damage by distinguishing natural chromosome ends from broken DNA ends, ensuring that cell's own repair machinery doesn't mistakenly try to fix the natural ends. And an enzyme called telomerase helps maintain the length of telomeres by adding back the repetitive DNA sequences lost during each cell division. Telomere is particularly active in germ cells, which is sperm and egg cells, and stem cells, which need to divide extremely extensively throughout a person's life, and they also divide very fast. In most somatic body cells, telomere activity is minimal, leading to a gradual telomere shortening as the person ages. In other words, I would say that the telomere shortening is what determines the aging of the person. And telomere shortening is associated with aging. Over time, as cells divide and telomeres become shorter, the risk of cellular dysfunction and age-related diseases increase. Some research suggests that telomere length may serve as a biomarker for biological aging. Short telomeres have been linked to various age-related diseases, including cardiovascular disease, cancer, and neurodegenerative disorders. In some cases, individuals with genetic mutations that impair telomere maintenance mechanisms can develop conditions known as telomeropathies, which are characterized by premature aging or rapid aging and increased risk of certain diseases. When we look at the existing research on telomeres, telomeres are an active area of scientific research, and there is interest in understanding how they might be manipulated to potentially slow down the aging process or treat certain diseases. However, the field is still evolving and many questions remain unanswered. In summary, telomeres are specialized DNA sequences that play a crucial role in protecting chromosomes and regulating cell division. Their length and maintenance are linked to aging and the risk of age-related diseases. Understanding telomere is a key area of research in biology and medicine. This brings us to the current research on telomeres. A tiny biotech startup called Rejuvenation Technologies is the latest to chase a massive ambition in reversing aging. Rejuvenation announced Wednesday that it has raised $10.6 million in a seed round led by Khosla Ventures. The California-based startup, founded by two Stanford PhD scientists, believe now is the right time to develop drugs that lengthen telomeres, which act as the protective caps on the ends of chromosomes. This field has experienced plenty of ups and downs over the last couple of decades. No biotech has yet to successfully develop a drug targeting these DNA sequences. Morgan says that many of the current diseases where we have unmet needs are diseases of aging. An issue related to shortening telomeres can cause cascading effects throughout the body. While Rejuvenation got up and running in 2018, joining Y Combinator, it later on met with venture capitalist Khosla Morgan. Other investors in the seed include Shanda Ventures, Asymmetry Ventures, Merchant Adventures, Longevity Tech Fund, and Y Combinator. We also have Alphabet-backed Calico Life Sciences, which was founded in 2013 to better understand and treat aging. And more recently, there have been multiple well-funded biotechs investigating the idea of reprogramming cells using epigenetics, most notably Altos Labs, all working on aging. Now to the philosophical question. Given that there is a lot of capital flowing into this area and many companies are working on it, given the fact that we now understand that telomeres are the ones that determine the chronological clock, and lengthening the telomeres can reverse aging, and knowing the fact that we have genomic sequencing machines, we have got CRISPR-Cas9 for gene editing, and we have got other gene editing technologies like prime editing and base editing. We also have DNA writing technology. Given all these facts, it really seems that we are almost at a threshold of time where the confluence of various technologies is going to help us to tackle the concept of aging. And that being a true question, now we come to the philosophical question of, should we work to treat aging as a disease and cure it? What happens when you cure aging? Well, people will no longer die of old age and old age related diseases. And that's going to be a lot of people. A whole lot of people are not going to die because of old age or old age related diseases. The deaths will now happen because of accidents or other diseases not related to old age. This brings up a lot of questions. If people do not age, what do we do with retirement? If people are forced to retire and have years to live, what do they do for income? If aging is cured and people stay healthy with good food and exercise, should they be allowed assisted suicide? I mean, if they decide they have lived long enough and it's the same thing day in and day out, they've been there and done that, seen everything, and life is just boring now, do they get to opt for assisted suicide to end their life? Or if they say that, I have lived long enough and I have retired, and I'm doing a lot of gigs, but I'm so tired of doing the gigs, making YouTube videos daily, or collecting rent from my tenants on a daily basis. I'm just sick and tired of this whole thing. It has been hundreds of years. Now I want to die. Do you allow them to have a assisted suicide or something? And what are the laws around that? How do you make sure that a person is doing it based on genuine need and he genuinely means it, and it's not for any other purpose like inheriting the assets of that person and so on? So then we come to the other side of the question. Like, if, let us say, all these problems do not exist, people can live happily and they are healthy, and somehow or the other we get into a Star Trek economy where money is no longer a matter. We have replicators that create food, so on and so forth. Then the question is, do you still allow people to have children? Would you have a permit system where people have to become eligible to have a baby? Because any new birth will add to the population and will have to be provided job opportunity. Going further, there may be no schools, because once people attain adulthood and decide to arrest their aging, the schools will be empty unless there is new children out there. And if there's a control on reproduction, there will be very little children. So it's going to be bespoke schools. Probably something similar to what Superman had. If you had seen the movie Superman, there were a bunch of crystals through which he learnt everything. So is it all going to be online training or from a database for those children? And what would be the impact on pension companies and annuity companies and insurance companies, as well as reverse mortgage companies, those kind of products. So it's all a big set of questions out there, which is not only physiological in nature, but it's also socio-economic and socio-political. Increasingly, I feel that in order to take advantage of science and technology, we need smart forward-thinking legislators. Generally, guys, I don't talk about politics. I avoid it as much as possible, but I can't resist to say that I don't think the likes of Jim Jordan, MGT, Bobert, and Gates are going to have the intellectual heft to even comprehend the existence of these possibilities. And then, of course, we have all these religious leaders who will be there, who will say that we should prevent this kind of a research from happening, and so on and so forth. And guys, what do you think? Would you invest in Rejuvenation? And what will your personal plan be if you were successful? And would you opt to dial back your age and live many more decades? So let me know, put that in the comments, and that's all for now. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.